You call me Mr. Perfect.
Hey, Curt Hennig fans. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind. I'm your host, Steph. Today is episode 52, guys. We're already on 52. We have a great show for you today. I'm actually going to watch along to Curt's match with DDP, and this is round three. We're on round three, guys. We're also going to watch 4 more promos, just like I promised. Angel, I would do. We're actually going to watch a couple that I wanted to show, but I think we were running a little late. I had to kind of go put my son to bed, but we will watch along to those this week, and we also will talk about them just like we always do. I hope you like my new background, everybody. I'm actually in my office. I uh, actually went and got a second monitor because I'm kind of spoiled at work where I have 2 monitors at work, and I like the 2 monitor setup. It gives me more room to put all my windows if I need to, go over some things. So I'm so glad that you're with us this week. I would like to give a shout out to my paid Patreon supporter, Charlie Brown Politics. If you too would like to be a Patreon supporter, my links are in the description field. 1, 3, 5, and $10. You get all kinds of perks. Just go to the links below and you can pick your tiers. Also, if you would like to become a Patreon supporter of my Black Magic Talk, it's 3, 5, and 10, I believe, dollars. So again, everything is in the description field if you would like to sign up for those. Also, if you could please like and follow me on Rumble. I do have 33 subscribers now. The other one has 27 followers. I'm very excited for that. Also, you can follow me on Locals for free for Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind. Okay. So let's go on to the 4 promos. I'm going to show them. Sorry. I'm just going to show them and then we'll talk about them. And I may pause in between just to make sure that I get what I need there. But I will pop back on. So let me go ahead and share my screen for everybody. Okay. Now, this first one is literally, sorry about that. This is the promo with Stone Cold Steve Austin in 1996. It says June 96. This is when Curt was still commentating. So he would still be, interviewing. I know he did an interview in 96 with Bret Hart. He also did a couple of interviews with Austin. And then, of course, last week with Angel, we actually had that where he, for example, he actually was commentating with Stone Cold during a match with Savio Vega, and it got heated, very heated. I'm very excited to do these promos because I think, well, I love these promos. I think they are awesome and really bring out Curt's character as a competitor, but also commentator. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play for you after I do that.
Well, Doc, Mr. Perfect on location, and this week, Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is an interview that I've been waiting to do for a long time because it's been a long time since I've seen anybody come through the ranks with this much wrestling ability. In fact, since I've been in the ring, I haven't seen this much ability. You and I, we would have had a great matchup here if I was still wrestling. I guess you think then maybe you would have beaten me. I'm not saying that. I said it would have been a great matchup. Let's go back to last Sunday. Okay, that's fine with me. Let's go back to last Sunday in your house. You're standing in the ring. Savio Vega is on his way down in this Caribbean strap match. Off go the lights. The whole building went black. Now, this had to affect your game, but it had to have some kind of effect on you.
Of course it affected the outcome. If the lights were off, how was the referee to see Savio Vega touch 4 corners? He never touched 4 corners, man. It was the biggest farce in the history of wrestling. But of course, it does lead to another match, doesn't it?
Yeah, In Your House, part 2. Okay, that brings us up to now, this DiBiase situation. I mean, he puts his whole career on the line. What's the deal with that?
Don't you think that was his mistake? You look at it this way. Did Savio Vega really beat Steve Austin? Or did Steve Austin finally want his independence? Think about it like that.
Are you Well, let's go to this King of the Ring situation that's happening here right now. All these great superstars involved. This has got to be your main focus right now after everything else has been washed.
Of course, Steve Austin is focused. I finally got all the distractions out of my career. I've been held back for years and years and years, and this is the chance of a lifetime, man. And if you think I'm going to drop the ball, you got another thing coming. King of the Ring, Monday, Bob Holly, whoever. I'm going to dominate Holly and anybody I step in the ring with. King of the Ring is going to be mine, no doubts about it.
Well, that's cold.
No, man. That's stone cold.
Actually go back there. And it's okay because all right. So, what do I want to say about this? I'm going to just stop sharing there for a minute, just so we can go over a few things. So this would have been, like I said, in June of '96 when Curt did this promo or this interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I think it was a good promo because it really showed you the character of Stone Cold coming out, and then of course, Curt being like, "No, I wasn't saying anything. I was just, playing off of you and doing that." So I think in the grand scheme of things that this was just the character of Curt coming out, but then the character of Stone Cold really coming out and being that heel that he was supposed to be, but he didn't stay for very long. Um, More on that. I just think that I would have loved to have seen if Curt was willing to stay in the ring or get back into the ring, though I think he still had a lot of issues in '96, personal issues. Plus, he probably wasn't cleared yet to go back to wrestling. And then, of course, there's always the deal with Eric Bischoff. I'm not sure when exactly he made that deal, but he does say in an interview that, Bischoff, knocked it out of the park when it came to that kind of stuff. So I definitely think that it was on Kurt's mind because he does make reference to it in the interview that we will hear once I hit 100K. Very excited for that. Everyone will get to hear the entirety of that. Just give me a second. So it was an hour long radio show and stuff. So you definitely get to hear that. I think it's a really nice interview and Curt really does speak his mind on that. He's very silly and witty and it has a lot to do with, the fact that he was just a very cool person. So I really want to say that I think that when it comes to this, that Curt just um, he really wanted to get a Stone Cold over, um, mostly because I mean they had that face to face confrontation, and I definitely think that being Curt, he's always going to try to put over the heel, and Austin was still considered a heel at the time. Um, and then, of course, you had Kurt in '96 will eventually go on to um, interview Bret Hart, but sorry, itchy. Eventually, he will go on to interview Bret Hart. Like if is Bret going to come back to the WWE or the WWF at the time, and just kind of like where mentally Bret was, I guess, at the time. So there's that. Um, so I think like there was a lot to knock down in this, because again, like, when he asked him, "Oh, the lights went out. Were you worried?" And Savio Vega was claiming that he touched all four corners when he never did that. Um, so it's almost like he cheated. So I don't know, like, when the switchover happened or when exactly Austin will become a babyface. So I, this could have been on its way to being that Austin was that heel that was just about to turn babyface. Excuse me. And it just happened to be that Savio Vega was involved. So okay, I'm gonna share my screen again and we're gonna watch the next one. I was able to find this. So it is Curt on, let's see, it was, yeah, okay. So Curt is he in 94. So in 94, Curt actually does an interview on give me a sec. So on um it's called the Heartbreak Hotel. They gave Sean, I guess Sean was actually hurt during this. Was having issues, so he was having some injuries. And Curt goes on to the Heartbreak Hotel to talk about the what he did with Luger when Curt was the referee, and of course Luger was he was trying to win the belt. Um, I like the part where Curt talks about, the fact that he's not a Yankee Doodle dandy. Um, I really like that. So we're gonna go ahead and watch along to that. Oh.
You are a stand-up guy. You also proved that without a doubt, you are a perfect referee.
He was.
WrestleMania 10, Lex Luger, you broke the rules. I called the match as I saw it. You
Can't
came
touch the
up
ref.
a loser.
You know something though? Word about town, the scuttlebutt going around the World Wrestling Federation is that you, Mr. Perfect, hold a grudge against Lex Luger. That you have some sort of animosity towards Lex Luger that stems from way back.
Me hold a grudge against anybody? If I was the kind of guy that held a grudge, I wouldn't be out here standing here talking to you.
That's true.
Because
They
you
had
and
a
I
feud
have
back
had
in
our differences in
93.
the past, have we not?
Good point, good point.
I am not the kind of guy to hold a grudge, and I'll prove it. How about a handshake?
Well, you're both heels, so.
Easy, Big D. I think I got this one.
I guess that settles that. Now, Luger, I don't hold any grudge just because 392 days ago you knocked me out at WrestleMania 9. No, I don't hold a grudge. It's never even entered my mind. Just because I didn't jump on the Lex Express, because I didn't wear the red, white, and blue wristbands, because I didn't wave the little flags, because I'm not a Yankee Doodle dandy. You think I'm some kind of creature that caused you to lose the World Wrestling Federation title. I hold no grudge.
Mr. Perfect, that if it's not you holding the grudge, the only thing I can think of is that it must be Lex Luger that's holding the grudge.
I guess so. Luger, you think your problems are over, but they're not. Your problems started when you put your hands on the official in WrestleMania 10. But you also put your hands on Mr. Perfect. And nobody puts their hands on Mr. Perfect and gets away with it.
Lex Luger,
True.
it looks
So we're just going to turn that down. I mean, we can still watch it because it's going to go into the next one. But this was a good one. Like I said, I like the fact that, and they had, Curt was, oh, I'm not a Yankee Doodle dandy. You were upset because I didn't jump on the Lex Express and I'm not, a Yankee Doodle dandy. I love that because, I mean, as we said last week, even Lex Luger wasn't feeling the Lex Express and um, he was literally, McMahon was trying to make him a Hogan 2.0, and Luger just for some reason didn't want, not for some reason, but he just didn't want any part of it. And it's not a good thing when a wrestler doesn't like his own gimmick. Luger is not Hogan. He could not put behinds in seats. So like him selling as Hogan was, left a lot to be desired because he was not Hulk Hogan. So why you would even entertain the idea that he's like Hogan, I'm not sure what that's all about. And like it just, I do think that McMahon was looking for example, I think he was really looking for the Mr. Perfect was trying to get revenge on him because Perfect's feet were in the ropes and he won the match. Um well, I mean, he didn't lose the match. His feet were in the ropes and it should have been, 1-2 count. And then the feet, well, it shouldn't have been a count at all because his feet were in the ropes. But again, this was around the time where Luger had a perfect record, so to speak, and he was knocking guys out with that forearm. and I just think that they wanted that ultimate heel, and that, of course, was Curt. So, I mean, him and Luger had a lot of heat together, a lot of chemistry. But I think that I just don't. I don't think it's right that they turned Curt heel again. I think they should have left him a baby face and left Lex Luger the narcissist. I think it would have been a better sequence of things happening here or there. So I don't get what Vince McMahon was going after there. I'm not sure exactly what he was looking for in that instance. Give me just 1 second. So I'm not really getting why he would turn Curt heel. Um, I think Curt did very well as a babyface, and he was babyface for over a year. And then they brought him back, and it just seemed like they wanted that little revenge against Luger. Um, they wanted Curt to be a heel again, which is fine. If Curt was fine with being a heel again, that's absolutely fine. I just think it was too soon. It is way too soon. They should have waited and backed off a little bit. I definitely don't think they should have made Lex Luger the Lexorcist. I mean, I did it again. Jeez, Curt really rubs off on me. I meant to say they should have kept him the narcissist, but the Lex Express. I mean, not even Lex Luger was feeling that. He wasn't really into it. He wasn't a Yankee Doodle dandy, as Curt would say. So I think it left a lot to be desired. And I just think that, you know, Curt probably was just going along to get along because he just didn't want to ruffle any feathers. Um, or step on anybody's toes because I mean, let's face it, it's Vince McMahon. And what Vince McMahon says goes. It doesn't matter what we say or do. It's what Vince wants. Vince has the final say. So there's just so many things you could do with that. And I just don't think that Vince did it correctly. So, okay. That's my thoughts on that. My thoughts on this next one is this was after Rick Rude had passed. So, of course, Kurt's going to feel a certain way. He just lost his best friend. Um, I just wanted to show this because I think it's due that we remember Rick Rude for who he was, that flamboyant and wowistic. And I mean, he was a typical fierce competitor. Rick Rude had it all. He had the body for it. He looked like a bodybuilder. No doubt about that. So, Rick had everything going for him. So I just want to um, sort of remember Rick Rude. Yeah, I know I saw clips of, SummerSlam 1989 where it was Warrior and Rick Rude. So it was like 35 years ago today that happened. Um, I just want to I want to remember Rick Rude. So, yeah, Curt Hennig, who had just lost his friend. Um, I'm going to stop sharing here for a second. Um, guys, I don't know how to say this any different than what Curt was thinking and feeling there. The man just lost his best friend, Rick Rude, and I think it's disingenuous for a guy to stick a or a microphone and a camera in your face and expect you to talk about your best friend who literally just passed on. I know that must have been very hard for Curt. Um, just lose. I mean, you literally went to the funeral and are now coming back and now people want to stick a camera and a microphone in your face and, oh, how do you feel about this and how do you feel about that? Um, as everyone knows who's been on this channel for a very long time, that everyone knows I read the letter that Curt wrote about Rick Rude, and that I could just barely get through it myself because you could feel the emotions, you could feel the general friendship that Curt had with Rick Rude, and I think someone trying to stick a camera in your face after you just lost your best friend is kind of disingenuous and a little disrespectful. But I mean, it is what it is, and they should have kept it at Booker T and Kurt's match with Booker T. They should. I don't think they should have even mentioned Rick Rude at this point, but people will be people. Excuse me. And I feel awful for Curt that he had to put up with that and endure that because that was just disrespectful in my eyes because let the man grieve, you know, give the man some time and let him grieve. He just lost his best friend. I mean, how would you like it if someone put a camera in your face and a microphone in your face and basically said, "Oh, how do you feel about this and how do you feel about that?" You guys know how I would feel. I would be devastated. I do have a best friend and she's very, very important to me. Um, you know, I can't imagine losing her, um, and then not being upset or, wanting to grieve her and her life, especially since it was accidental how Rick Rude passed. It was definitely accidental. So I think that everything that, could have been felt with Curt, dealing with all that stuff, plus, having a microphone and camera shoved in your face, I just think it's awful. It's awful how they treated him in WCW, never giving him any titles other than the tag team and the US championship. Um, I they should have given him the world title, but again, you have Hogan and Hogan acts the West Texas Rednecks. So at this point, I'm not going to be able. Everyone on YouTube will not hear that interview because it does have music in the background. So just give me 1 second. Sorry. Everyone on Rumble will hear that. Unfortunately, YouTube, because I don't want any copyright strikes, you guys will not hear any of that. But if you want to check that out, if you want to check out that rare interview they did with Curt right after Rick Rude's passing, hop on over to Rumble. Links are in the description field. So just hop on over and check that out. Or you can check it out on I'm sure they have it on YouTube somewhere. I mean, I just pulled it from YouTube. So, uh, but I prefer not to have any copyright strikes. So I'm not going to even worry about that interview. I'm just going to cut it out for YouTube. So this last one is, I didn't even remember not sharing it. I might have shared it, but only the audio. So, yeah, I don't remember ever sharing it with anyone because it's literally when Curt comes into Portland. Okay, so this is all Portland stuff. Um, and this is the interview he does with his father, or the promo he does with his father. and they both go into Portland. And this is where I heard this. I was up in Minnesota bear hunting with a switch, and I went, what? I was all confused. I'm like, how do you bear hunt with a switch? I think I missed the forest for the trees there, Larry. But no, and if you don't see Curt on camera, because honestly, I don't know how Curt kept a straight face through any of this. Especially that line there. I was dying laughing. I was laughing so hard I couldn't stand it. Um so it would not surprise me if like Curt was like like laughing in the background. But I think this promo is where I got that Curt has a sense of humor from his dad. Because no one, not even Jesse Ventura, could tell me what bear hunting with a switch is. But he did say that Larry would say it all the time. So we're gonna find out together. And if any of my audience members know what bear hunting with a switch is, please tell me, okay? Because I have no idea. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen again. And this will be the last one for tonight. Okay. So, yeah, this is Portland. This is 1982, and this is when Curt first came in. He will have an interview or promo with his father. We'll watch it and then we'll talk about it.
Just in case you haven't heard of him, the Army certainly has. Curt Hennig, Larry the Axe Hennig. Curt, you've been taking it to the Army.
Well, Frank, all these people around here, I've been telling them for the last couple of weeks, they've seen what's happened. They've seen the Army. They've seen what they've done to me behind my back. I told them my father wanted to come in and be my partner, and here he is now, and he's here, and we're here to do something to the Army that they've never had done to themselves before.
Well, Curt's been wrestling since he's been in 6th grade. We come from a long line of good wrestling families. And we try to wrestle right, and we try to wrestle according to the rules. And I was up in Minnesota sitting there, bear hunting with a switch, and I got a phone call, and they said that these guys are trying to stampede over the Hennigs. Doesn't make any difference who it is. If you do something to one Hennig, you do something to all the Hennigs. And what that means is war. And we've always been thick. I've got 5 children, and he's one of them, and he's one of the toughest. And we're here to take care of each other. And if whoever stands in our way, we're going to be damn tough to put up with. I tell you, he backs up his words. Curt, Larry, thank you very much.
Oops, sorry, I was muted there. All right, so just gonna stop sharing there quick. So yeah, this is a good promo, at least I thought. And like I was giggling there at the end or towards the end when he was saying, "Yeah, I was up in Minnesota bear hunting with a switch." Just absolutely, phenomenal. Because like I said, I would always ask, how do you bear hunt with a switch? It's sort of like you're giving the bear a chance, you're giving the bear a chance to come back and hurt you very badly. But I never asked the question other than to Jesse Ventura, and he's like, well, Larry would always say that. I'm like, yeah, but it's not real, is it? You don't really go bear hunting with a switch, do you? You take a some kind of thing with you, right? um Otherwise I think you're giving the bear a fighting chance at this point. So that was a great one. Like I said, that was a Portland one. So that would be when Curt goes into Portland, he goes with his father. His father will eventually get injured, or in wrestling terms, basically go back to AWA and kind of leave Curt there to take care of Buddy Rose and the Army. Buddy Rose, Rip Oliver, and of course Dynamite Kid will also join there at towards the end when they sort of make Buddy Rose a baby face in '83. But Curt and Buddy Rose had a very, very good feud, I thought. Especially that knee versus knee match, because I'm sitting there going, oh, no. I didn't like that one because it looks like Curt is really in pain, and I don't like that. So you hear this, ah! I'm like, oh, stop it. Oh, no. So that was a great interview, I thought. Like I said, the whole bear hunting with a switch thing really got me laughing the first time I heard it. I was just like, I see exactly now where Curt gets his funny side, and it was definitely from his dad. So, so let's go right into the match. That is the end of the promos that I have. We're just gonna watch along to the match, and then the ending. They will the NWO will come out and take out DDP. They'll put a Sting mask on him, and they kind of do what the NWO does. I mean, this is what the NWO does, guys. And then we'll talk about it for a little bit, and then we'll wrap up. Can you believe it, guys? I mean, we're almost like more than halfway through this. These go so fast, I'm telling you. All right. Okay, everyone should see my screen, and you should see the NWO there. Okay. So for all those who have the audio, we're on WCW Monday Nitro. It's season 3, episode 48, and it's December 1st, 1997. We are at 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 56 seconds. Okay. Like I said, you should say, if you are listening to the audio and you're going to watch along on another tab, that's fine. It should say the preceding announcement has been paid for by the New World Order or the NWO. So, and then we're going to go right into the DDP and Curt Hennig match. Okay. Curt Hennig thing. He would always do that with the fans. He'd always go out and just, talk to them or talk a little trash, with them.
He's certainly been a fighting United States champion ever since taking the belt from Steve Mongo McMichael. Almost every week here on Nitro, it's been like a who's who of wrestling. He's defended the belt against Ric Flair, Lex Luger, previously against Diamond Dallas
Come on,
Page,
DD.
now the return match with DDP.
Let's not forget that.
Come on, DDP. Fight like a man.
Roddy Piper,
Come on, Curt.
time interim commissioner, and Sting laid out a plan to take out the NWO. And at that time, you knew that Page had become a very close ally of Sting. But in asking Page, where is Sting leading up to Starcade, he was as clueless as
Fight like a man.
He doesn't know where Sting is.
DDP.
And he is just concerned with everyone here. A scoop slam, down goes Curt Hennig.
That's because Diamond
It's okay,
Dallas Page
Curt.
knows that the future of World Championship Wrestling, the future of professional wrestling, really all revolves around Sting.
I think this is all just
That match is going to
scripted here.
wrestling will start a new era.
No way it can be the same from that point on.
On the 28th of December, history will be made. It's the beginning. The fact that Sting and Hogan.
Oh, you didn't just do that, DDP. Now you're going to get it, boy.
All around the world want to be part of this card. Want to be at the event December 28th. Look at this. Holding on to the hair. Into the ropes. Runs over Hennig.
You don't spit on Curt Hennig.
They all want to be there that night in one form or the other.
You come up missing.
That maneuver there by Tenay.
Nice spinning, swinging neck breaker by Diamond Dallas Page. He goes into this matchup at less than 100%. I talked to him before the bout. He's still having problems with his kidneys, and his ribs are at 80%.
Well, I don't know if I'd go in the ring just taping like that. I'd have a top on. I'd have something. I'd have kind of like a black vest like quarterbacks wear, something like that. I mean, you can get away with anything. If the NWA does it, the NWO does it, why can't we do it?
Turnabout fair play.
Sure.
You go back and you look at the history between these two men, and you look at the fact that Curt Hennig was DDP's mystery partner this past summer.
So?
The fact that there is a bitter rivalry here, more than just the rivalry for the U.S. belt that Page wants, but the fact that Hennig, before he turned to the NWO, before he turned on the Horseman, turned on Diamond Dallas Page. We all should have seen that film.
And he betrayed Diamond Dallas
Diamond
Page.
Dallas Page pulled the ropes down. Curt could have hurt himself.
Hennig's association with the New World Order. It was a natural.
Remember what, after he turned on DDP, what Hennig said? He said a long time ago, Page wanted my autograph. He was a mere fan. He was just trying to rub DDP's face in the fact that Hennig had more years in the sport than Page had. But I tell you, in a short span, Diamond Dallas
Ooh, no
is
thanks.
the quickest learner in our sport.
No, thank you.
And now look at a guy named Paige Falkenberg.
Oh, running snapmare.
Rubbing elbows with Muhammad Ali this past weekend in Atlanta.
Yeah, Chipper Jones, Steve Carlton. And
I mean,
what
so,
happened here?
oh,
Randy Anderson.
I think he got hurt.
He hit it in the eye. I apologize. I don't know if he was hit by a foot or was gouged in the eye by a fan or by a wrestler or what. There's 1, 2.
No, Curt didn't do anything.
Randy Anderson,
I think
the
either.
referee.
I think he says he got hit with a golf ball
Reverse chinlock applied.
right in the eye from a fan.
Holding on to the ropes there. You see it.
Smart move by Hennig at this point, just neutralizing Page, keeping him grounded on the mat.
There you hear the chant once again with the fans, DDP.
And he hears it too.
In one of these matches, you can hear the referee say, "I got hit in the eye with a golf ball."
You can see right in there that almost that Hennig was telling Page, give it up. And Page, you could even read his lips. He said, no way, I'm going to give up.
Yeah, here. That's the match. This is the match.
again.
Yeah, the referee says he got hit in the eye with a golf ball.
He's holding on once again.
So one of the
Leverage
fans
on
must
that
have thrown a.
bottom DDP.
I was gonna say I don't think he got hit by a foot. I thought maybe he did, but
Two.
That is 2.
you see him just go down, and you're like,
Page
"What the heck
needs to
happened to you?"
get-
You know.
He's fought it off.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's done. Well, that's
I think Curt said, "Or hey, are you
He's gotta get
okay?"
to
And he
his feet.
goes, "What happened?"
And he's
Oh,
gonna get to his
I
feet.
got hit
Watch
in the
this man.
eye
Watch
with
the
a golf
determination
ball.
in this man. The hard man to hold down. Bad ribs, bad kidneys, and all. He's here to fight.
Series of back elbows,
Oh, he
breaks it, and then he just walked right into that sleeper again.
Oh, great counter maneuver that time. He backpedaled to the turnbuckle and broke loose from the sleeper hold. And now, once again, down on the mat he goes. Can you look at the scene here, guys? And this is a great one-on-one matchup for the U.S. title. And imagine the arm of Larry Zbyszko around the chin of Eric Bischoff.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine it.
Yeah.
I was no fan of Eric Bischoff, but I was no fan of Larry
Zbyszko.
Zbyszko either.
I encourage Larry, don't break the hold. Keep it on. We'll tell you when you.
Oh, Eric will have no trouble with him.
Oh, Eric beat him.
With 2 hands tied behind his back.
Blindfolded.
Use one of those spin wheel kicks he learned on the back of a matchbook.
Yeah, it's freaking sell. Why don't
in
you?
the midsection. At times,
You
the
made it
slap-
too easy,
Tip was
DDP.
flaring here. You can see it on the face of Hennig.
Sell
I don't know if
something.
it's temper here, Iron Mike, or maybe it's frustration.
Hmm.
But DDP, like we said,
No thanks.
just keeps coming up.
It was just a culmination of everything.
Just like that.
Yeah, the months that they've been feuding. Burst of adrenaline by P.
Put him down. Oh, did he ever?
What a clothesline.
Almost took him out of his shoes.
And Diamond Dallas standing up now.
Maybe you learned something from Muhammad Ali. He's throwing a lot of leather out there.
Right and left combinations. You may be right. Look at this. Diamond Dallas.
I'll be quiet.
Puts him down again.
Yeah, you seen what he's got, DDP.
We may have a new United States champion. Don't waste any time, DDP. If you're gonna do it now.
They're standing in Knoxville.
Rick Rude.
Ravishing Rick Rude's arrived.
Well, of course, Rick Rude has been associated for years
Hi,
with
Rick.
Curt Hennig. They grew up together in Robbinsdale, Minnesota. Bobby, there's a common bond.
Very good.
Not
Right first time.
between the two.
Oh, he got him. He got him.
Diamond Cutter. Diamond Cutter. He's got it. 1, 2.
Nope.
Oh, he shoves Randy Anderson down. And now, members of the NWO coming out. He had it won.
Again, he had it won.
He had the U.S. title won.
Twice in a row. And look at this. He isn't backing away. He's going to fight them all. That's the way this man operates.
And he's going to have to. You know that. Here comes
No, there comes Savage.
The U.S. title belt. And he hit Page in the back of the head. And he knocked him out.
Oh, they're going to destroy this man right now.
Rude, Bagwell, Norton, Conan,
Rude's the one that saved the title.
and the world champ Hollywood Hogan is out. And
Well, I'm not
he
much
is
for Hogan
stalking the
either.
ring.
And Bischoff right behind him.
Bischoff. Someone call Zbyszko quick.
Call Zbyszko.
All right. These cowards.
Haven't they done enough to Diamond Dallas Page
I
over the
think
last
they
couple of months?
Apparently not.
The chant of We Want Sting.
Sorry that he did that
Fans are
sarcastically,
getting on that as
Curt.
well.
Remember when Hogan gave him the diamond cutter?
Hogan
Talk
saying
about
to
the
Curt,
ultimate humiliation.
"Oh, this one's
We
for
can
you."
read through all of this.
Okay, Hogan, we
They
know
are
you were
trying to
jealous
make
of Curt.
examples
Stop
of
it.
Everyone in WCW in lieu of Sting not being here is what they're doing. And Diamond Dallas Page can take no more. Diamond Dallas Page is out. But do you think that's going to stop him? Not a... There's the world title belt. What is this all about?
That's symbolic.
This.
I don't think it's symbolic of anything. I think it's going to be used as a weapon here. The man's out. Oh, okay. So they're putting a Sting mask on DDP.
You want the gold? You're gonna eat the gold.
They put a Sting mask on DDP. And they're going to put a diamond cutter on DDP with a Sting mask on the world title belt.
And they're sending
Diamond
a
cutter.
message to Sting. Oh, no.
They're sending a message to the entire world that on December 28th, Hollywood Hogan has come to fight. Where in the world is Sting?
At home.
You got to get Page out of there.
So that pretty much wraps up the match we're going to watch along to. Some ending thoughts about it. It was a great match. I just thought that DDP at the end seemed like, or in the middle of the match, just seemed like he didn't want to sell for Curt. And that's not fair. Sell something. I mean, that's probably why Curt was kind of pushing him with his foot. Do something, sell something, make it look good, make Curt look good. Maybe he was just not feeling it that night. Maybe he just was too tired. I'm not sure. All I know is I was just like, when Curt kind of pushed him with his foot, it kind of like made it seem like DDP wasn't doing it. And that's horrible to think about, but I mean, because DDP was supposed to be like the working man's wrestler, so to speak, sort of what the NWO was, and I don't know why DDP didn't go to the NWO in the first place, because the NWO was against tradition and sort of like the working man's people. Excuse me. So I just think that, I don't know, maybe DDP was just too tired. He looked like he was kind of exhausted there. So I don't know if like maybe he just wasn't, like I said, wasn't into the match or whatever, but he definitely looked like, oh, I'm so exhausted, that kind of thing. I do apologize if my internet, if it is a little glitchy, I'm sorry. My internet is not as good as out here as it would be in my room, but this is my new office, obviously. And like I said, I am a little spoiled with the two monitors. So that is our show this week. I hope you enjoyed the match with DDP Round 3. And next week we should be doing, I'm not really sure who next week he faces. I'll have to look that and get back to you. But I mean, that's pretty much it for me. For YouTube guys, you guys will not hear most of that because I will have to take out the music for copyright reasons. But if you want to see this episode in its entirety, just hop on over to Rumble. All links will be in the description field. And then you Rumble guys will see everything, even the glitchiness. I'm sorry. It is a little glitchy because, like I said, I am out in my office. I'm not actually in my house. Even though the router's just in the next room, it's still a little glitchy. But it was even glitchy in my room too. So just kind of bear with it. Well, that's it for me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And here we are at the end again, where these episodes seem to be going pretty fast. But I keep enjoying doing them. Like I said, if you have any questions or concerns, you can always email me or DM me on X. All links will be in the description field. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, you're more than welcome to do that. Now, everyone will hear shameless plugs. Even if you're on Rumble, it'll be audio only. And then, of course, YouTube will also be audio only. Okay, guys, that's it for me. And remember, everybody, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody. Okay, guys, this is where we're going to do some shameless plugs here. So the first shameless plug, if you could please go over to my other show, which is Black Magic Talk. I will put the links in all the description fields. If you could just kind of browse it, if you are not only a wrestling fan, but you like Wicca or paganism, and you'd like to learn more about it. We just did some recent episodes. So if you'd like to hop over there, just click the link in the description field. If you would like to give to the Black Magic Talk Patreon, that link will be in the description field. And again, if you would like to have a tarot reading on the show, you can DM me on X. My link for that X will be in the description field. If you would like to do one off the show, you can also just DM me and I will give you my rate. My co-host is Matt Collins. He can also give you a tarot reading on the show or off the show. If it's on the show, all you would have to do is become a Patreon supporter for $5 a month. You get all kinds of perks. And again, we can let you know when you can come on the show. And if you'd like to do it off the show, Matt can definitely give you his rating for doing tarot. The next shameless plug I would like to do is, of course, Pro Wrestling Talk will always be on Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It is scheduled to change, but Angel and I will let you know on the Wrestling X. So if you would like to DM us at any time, me and Angel, my link will be in the description field for my Wrestling X, and that is for Pro Wrestling Talk and also for this podcast, Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind. If you would like to give to the Patreon, I have for Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind. Again, you can go and look in the description field. It should be there. I have $1, $3, $5, and $10. The other show is just $1, $5, and $10. I'm sorry, it's $3, $5, and $10, I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. But if you could give, thank you in advance. If you would like to ask any questions for pro wrestling or Black Magic Talk, you are free to direct message me on X or Angel, my host for Pro Wrestling Talk. Again, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday, unless it is scheduled to change, but we will definitely let you know beforehand. So, of course, this show, I'm going to do a shameless plug for this show. Again, $1, $3, $5, and $10 you can contribute on Patreon. If you would like to give on Cashapp, I will take donations on Cashapp, but direct message me on X if you would like to do that, and I will give you my handle. So if you have any questions like about the show or any technical questions, you can always direct message me on my X, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. The next shameless plug I would like to do is for Hardlands Media, Kit Cabello, someone I call a good friend of mine. Please check him out. He is Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central, and that would be 10 p.m. Eastern. So 9 a.m. Central. He is Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday, depending on when you can catch him in a good mood for a Saturday brunch. If he does do Saturday brunch, I usually am sleeping or at work. So, but check him out. He's really good on politics, and I have the pleasure of calling him friend. Some more shameless plugs. If you could also subscribe to Angel in the Afternoon. He does a great job on politics as well. And that's Angel in the Afternoon. And he's usually on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday. That is also scheduled to change. If you have any questions about it, he'll usually let you know. And he will definitely, you can direct message him if you need to get a hold of him. The last one is Deconstructing. His name is Dave. I really recommend him too. He has a little podcast on YouTube. All you'd have to look up is Deconstructing Topics, and he does some really good stuff. I really recommend you guys check him out. Subscribe to everybody I just said here, and check them out. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody.